Manchester United are about to start the new Premier League season with no recognised striker. Cristiano Ronaldo is not fit. Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't been training. Anthony Martial is now being reported as out injured with a hamstring injury. The Man United board has seemingly been working hard to bring in players for Eric Ten Hag. A lot of Man United fans, like myself, have remained calm at times. We understand there's a process of only signing particular players for the club. But it's a disastrous way to be starting the season. It's an uninspiring way to be starting the season. Light on new players. Your superstar still trying to leave. And fans all at sea, fans all frustrated with no real hope or anticipation of improvement over the course of this year. When we look across the other half of Manchester, City look ready. Liverpool look ready. Chelsea are about to spend over £300 million in London. Spurs, a lot of people are predicting brilliance from them. The media is happy with them. Their fans are happy. And Arsenal seemingly back on the road to success. How is Man United's season really going to pan out in your views, your eyes, your opinions? Because for me, I think you have to separate this season from the overall improvement that Eric Ten Hag will bring. But this is a weekend I'm not looking forward to as a Man United fan. This is the weekend that I'm fearful of. This is the weekend that I think could be embarrassing for Man United because we really ain't ready. Now, a lot of people will say, Terry, a lot of us have been scared all summer, moaning all summer. Why haven't you? I'm the type of person that will always wait to see what happens before I start to overly condemn it. You'll look at individual moments or signings or player behaviors within that period, and you'll have an opinion on them, like everybody. And still, I am going to separate and I'm going to ring fence in what I look at as the difference between the overall rebuild of Eric Ten Hag this season. This season, Manchester United will not make the top four. This season, Manchester United may win a trophy if the football improves enough. But if another couple of signings are not made, I still don't think there'll be enough strength in this squad to be able to do that, irrespective of Ten Hag's training and coaching and system. If by the end of this window, De Jong's landed, there's a new attacker in an Anthony or a Cisco, if a Dumfries is added to this squad, and I'm throwing these names out because they're linked to Man United, not suggesting they're going to 100% happen. If that is the case, my standpoint could change. Maybe over the opening 3 games of the season, my view will change. The Anthony Martial news that he's out injured is absolutely significant because Manchester United are in a situation whereby him being injured shows you the lack of depth in this squad. By the sounds of it, players such as Ahmad, Palestri, even to a degree Elanga, because of you can tell by the starting lineups that he's been in and the way he's been used in preseason, isn't someone that the manager's looking at in the same way Ralph Rangnick was. As, wow, this could be a player for the future. United get an injury to Martial. You've got to move Rashford into them central roles, which he hasn't ever really excelled in. There's nobody else. All you're left with playing Ronaldo that isn't integrated into the system, isn't fit and ready. And in all due respect, Ronaldo doesn't deserve to be starting for Manchester United Football Club. He simply does not deserve it whatsoever because the attitude hasn't been right. So you end up in a position where we end up with inferior players playing in that position or a player that shouldn't be playing in that position, and it sends a terrible message to their dressing room. And this is the problem with the way this summer has ended up panning out. And I don't really know what's worse, picking Cristiano Ronaldo or not landing all the targets yet. One, you can understand if you're going to go down the lines of we're only going to sign our number 1, maybe our number 2 targets, and you explain to the squad that it's going to take 2 to 3 years to build this squad out, but we only want the right people. That's one thing. Whether you believe that or not is another. The other element is playing a player that is trying to force his way out, that has done disrespectful things, that left games early. What message does that send into the dressing room when you're trying to convince them that we're going to be different, we're going to change, we're going to behave in a different way? So in the short term, I feel like Man United are going to go through a lot more pain than maybe I even anticipated, than maybe even I expected before we get to the end result. Will the Glazers stay the course? Will the fans stay the course through those rocky moments? I don't really know. I really, really don't know. Now, we're sponsored today by our friends at Private Internet Access. You can get up to 3 months off and an 82% discount on their products. Why do you need a VPN? Well, it's very, very simple. Unbreakable security with a strict no logs policy and tons of customized private features. You can trust that your data is being protected by the most transparent and focused VPN service created. It's available on all your devices, your phones, laptops, PCs, iMacs, and much, much more. There's zero restrictions also. So if you're on holiday and you want to watch YouTube, you want to watch the BBC iPlayer, you might want to watch things on the Sky Go app. You change your VPN provider to state listed in the UK or whatever country you get your services in, and it will still be available. There's tons more services available to you. Check out their Trustpilot score as well, which is key. But as you can see, we can give you a deal at £1.63 per month, as opposed to their standard $8.99 package. Private Internet Access are a very reputable company. We currently use them. You should be doing the same. So where do you sit with Man United? Now, I know what rivals are going to write. Okay, rivals, do your thing in the comments. I get it. I get it. You know, I've already done some videos this summer where I spoke about how I'm scared of how good Arsenal are going to be. I'm scared of how good Chelsea are going to be. I think Spurs, and people are twisting my words. I don't care. That's the nature of the beast. But I think Spurs are going to underwhelm based on the level of expectations people are putting against them, like finishing in the top four, clear of everybody else, challenging for titles. I don't think they'll do that as well as that, but I still think they'll be better than Manchester United. People don't misconstrue what I'm going to say. I don't believe Man United have a chance right now of finishing above Spurs, above Chelsea, above Arsenal. 110% we're not going to be in a title race. And I think it's why I'm having to temper my expectations. I've still got an element of faith that's very strong, that if Ten Hag's given time over the course of 3 or 4 windows his players are purchased, if we're able to hang on to our better talent, if we continue to try and eradicate player power, that we can get back to our best. I believe that because those are the ingredients that have been missing for 9 years. But with the way we're handling Cristiano Ronaldo, there's a reluctancy to let him go. With the fact that we're ending up starting a season with Marcus Rashford as our main number 9 because Martial's injured. We haven't replaced Cavani, and we didn't even add new inside forward because we ended up being priced out of the Anthony deal. It's going to be painful, and I really am in this two mind. I'm so like polarized on this. There's this part of me that thinks this is Glazonomics. This is nothing to do with trying to find number 1 targets. We're not willing to spend the money. We're trying to get blood from a stone. This is going to be a disaster. It's going to lead to Erik ten Hag failing. They're making him keep Ronaldo, and it's going to be a disaster. And then you do have another part of me that's like, but Terry, you've been asking for us to not buy players a manager doesn't 110% want. You've been asking for there to be an element of time taken in building squads. Not overspending on players. If they want 100 million euros for Anthony, we shouldn't just pay it because we've done that in the past and it's led to problems. So there's large elements of what we're doing of what I've been asking for, but I don't know where I sit, and it's the weirdest position to be in for me. I'm always normally very resolute in my thinking, in my decision making, and I make those decisions and I stand by them until a new piece of evidence or a new fact arrives that changes my mind. And I can't do it with Man United. And I'm talking medium to long term here. I don't know where I stand right now. I'm very much looking at this as a game by game basis to see how things come out in the wash. But in terms of the start of this season, I think it's a bit of a disastrous start. I can't lie and I can't deny it. Yeah, maybe 6, 7 weeks ago, I wasn't saying this because I wanted to wait and see what happened. I wanted to wait and see where we were gonna be because I don't have a general disposition as being negative, and I just didn't feel like that's just not what I wanted to do. There's no other reason to it than that. It just wasn't how I felt at that time. Am I happy with the business we've done? I'm very happy with Lissandro Martinez. Very happy with the young Malacia. Very happy that Ericsson is here. But I'm even getting to a point, and maybe this is PTSD, and you get it as well, where I worry that one or two or three of them are not going to work out. They're going to end up being a flop where nobody expects them to be. Why? Because so many players have bought in the past have flopped. And maybe as we come to the start of the Premier League, the lack of enthusiasm from my fellow fans, the problems still going on at the club, you just think, and maybe me, even if we kept my feet on the ground, that has said all summer that I knew that all the holes were going to be filled. I knew that all the problems were going to be resolved in one summer. Maybe it's hitting me harder than I expected. It's a terrible way to be starting the season. Fingers crossed Erik ten Hag is as good as we all hope that he is, because this doesn't look like a promising season, or maybe not even an overly progressive season for Manchester United. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Smash that like button, and we'll see you all soon.